we're going to build here today is a reinforced stone factory. On most worlds, reinforced stone prevents you from being raided and griefed, or helps prevent it. It's not 100% by any means. But let's get started. In order to build this, we need to first create our power source, which I'm going to use geogens. And the reason I use geogens is because solar panels, high voltage solar panels, oftentimes create lag and can cause chunk corruption. What are you doing there, Wicked?
You don't see what I'm saying?
Oh, no, but everybody else can. It's being recorded. And by the way, this is being built on the Empire's MC server. The address for the server is tekkit.empiresmc.net.
Sure. Yippee. Alright. What you building?
The first thing I'm building is the power supply for the geogens.
I'm not going to give you much help.
As I said, you're here to be the comic relief.
That's harsh.
Racism.
Yeah, for you, it is.
Racist.
Now, I have creative mode here in this world, and this is in a world that's not available to the public yet. We haven't opened it to the public, but it will be open soon, and this, I'm planning on making the Hall of Machines so that people can see how to build these types of machines. So I replicated a base here. That's the reason you see everything around us like you did. One that is not completely unraidable by any means, because I used tiled stone instead of reinforced stone and regular glass instead of reinforced glass. But this is the size that you're limited to help prevent people from portaling into your base with another portal. It doesn't completely stop it, but it helps drastically. Now, back to what I was doing. And I know it looks crazy, right? Well, trust me, there's a reason for it. Now, I gotta get a geogen. As soon as I find them, watch me pass them. Geothermal generator. Now, as I said, I'm in creative mode here, so I can easily place multiples with only having one. Now I'm going to get a restrictor tube and put a furnace at the end. That way we don't have any pipe lag. The excess are burned up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do what a smart person would do, and that is put a condenser on the end, because lava cells have an EMC value. And I'm going to make some MK3 collectors. Now I got to get a screwdriver and turn that filter at the end. Wicked's goofing off. I told you you'd be entertained by English City saying. As long as you're not being racist on this server, you'll be okay. The items are limited based on your rank, if you donate to the server, etc., of course. And these things can be a pain in the ass. Pardon my language, but it's the truth. To find items. I could have already had it ready, but where's the fun in that? Now. Okay. use some of my personal inventory here, simply because it's already made, ready to go. I always use, that's my signature here, orange wool. And now I'm going to get some redstone. Some red ingots. Or red alloy ingots, that's it. Oh my god. Wicked, what are you doing? You pose. Put this over in the corner. Here, let's make my life a lot easier. And we'll go ahead and get a full row while I'm in there. That way I ain't got to keep searching for it. For red alloy ingots. In creative mode, you normally don't have access to your inventory, so it's just easier to do it this way. Now, got to get a diamond saw. Another donator perk, the workbench. Keeps you from having to carry a crafting table all the time. Put the pattern in. I better stop while I'm ahead or I'll waste some. And of course I've already made a panel again. Now I gotta fix that. I only need a stack of 64 for now. I'll come back when I need more later. Put all this other crap back on my bar. Oh, and I need red alloy wire. There we go. Now, just being in the way like usual, Wicked. It's okay. Okay, now we get a stack of them. And putting the filter to where it only sends stacks of 64. Plus that. Let's fill this thing up. Alright. Now, we got the power source made. Now we need, I like to make my lines as efficient as possible, so I'll use several macerators. I'll also use several of the full power flowers to make the the bars and stuff like that, to where I can constantly keep a good flow going. Right now, what we're going to need is power flowers. So let me make some room. This tutorial is not showing you how to build power flowers, so feel free to build them however you wish. I just prefer the more effective method of a true full-on power flower. And the way you do that with the limitation of build being 3 height is very simple. You put a hole in your wall, put your condenser down. Now normally your base is probably 7 layers thick, so people can't clip through it. But no clip through it, but this being in a protected world, I don't have to worry about that, so I'm not going through the trouble of making 5 layers. Now, at your base, continue the base. And that's as big as you need to make it in order to make the iron ingots fast enough. But we're going to need 2 more. I got to get one to make 10, same size, and one to make bronze. So I'm going to build them right next to each other. And Wicked's not talking. Why aren't you talking, Wicked? You're supposed to be the comic relief.
It's okay for you to talk, but you can't.
Exactly, he can't.
Zach.
Okay, I'm gonna need a cover. Due to tight constraints. I don't want to sit there and be filling up one with lava cells.
What you doing now?
I am building power flowers for the ingots.
Okay. Did I know that this is the size of your base?
Yes, I inform them that this is not the base. I also let them know that this is on a protected world, but this is a replica of my base.
Okay.
I just didn't use reinforced stone and reinforced glass.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people like to build these with without using the full power flowers. I like using the full power flower for one reason and one reason only, and that's because I don't like having to go and constantly add EMC to my shit. Once I start my factory, I like my factories to run non-stop without me having to add red matter furnaces to it. Now I got to add the ingots. The first one's going to be iron. Let's set this back up real quick first. Now with the iron, you have to cook it in a furnace before you can use it in the mixed metal ingot. So what we're going to do first is get all the ingots in, then I'll come back and add a red matter furnace because it's the fastest, and I can pump right out of it with a filter and a redstone pulse. Oh, and by the way, that's what we're going for, mixed metal ingot. I'm going to need that as well. Put a filter. Now I need that pneumatic tube, I just throw it away. Oh, and if you've ever dealt with this system before, with the creative mode, you know that there's certain items you can't just use one of, like for instance pneumatic tube, you have to pull a whole stack.
Yeah.
And once you have the full stack though, the stack never goes down, but if you only grab one piece, it'll go away instantly. Weird why that works, I think it's a bug.
Why did these go in this choice? Oh, it did the EMC in this school.
Yeah, you don't waste EMC, that's the reason you do that. Now, as I've stated before, my machines are built to be efficient rather than space consuming, so I may use an entire floor to do what I do, even though I don't have to. I could be a tightwad with space and cause other issues, but at the same time I'd rather not. I'd rather do it the way I like to do it. Actually, I think I will be a little bit more of a tightwad, not so spacious. think I'm going to come right here with it. Now remember, I'm limited to a 3 high ceiling, so now I gotta set the ingots up in here, which means I need to run some wire. Now I also like to use one timer per machine, unless of course there is an issue like on this server, which I know how to bypass, and I'm not going to tell you, but I do know how to bypass it, and that's the timers for the timer limiter. Anyone experienced in machining can figure it out on their own there. And I forgot something. I'm glad I did that. But at least I know where they're coming out from now. So, I gotta go in here. And I think I will do it this way. Yeah, I broke it. I realized I left something out.
Oh, yeah, put that in there.
Need to put a red matter furnace in there.
Yeah. What do you need to do with this?
You gotta make them into reinforced stone. Or, excuse me, refined iron.
I won't recommend it. I just need to go see what these are doing.
Okay. See how much faster that is? I mean, that's fast. Not quite fast enough, but pretty freaking close. That reminds me, I need to cut it back on for a minute. Let it run. I need to grab a stack of iron. So that I can limit how much that furnace puts out over there. That flour, excuse me. You can always use filters to set limits. Like for instance, now it'll only put out 64 at the time. And take 64 from there, put 64 in there, and now it's only going to put in 64 at the time. Okay, now I can cut it off. And I can set up the ingot pattern. Reinforced on top, 10 on the bottom, and look, I accidentally made high voltage cable again. Now, let's get that out of there, because I don't need it. There. Just throw it on the ground. And throw it in my inventory that I can't see. I'm going to do one more. And tube it in. Shit, I screwed up. I'm going to go need to get another cover. Also need to get a stack of 64 of that, a stack of 64 of that. Why? So that I can limit and stop it from pulling out one bar at a time. It drives me nuts. Now I need a restrictor tube. Restriction tubes. Everything that has an EMC value, you'll notice that I put into a chest. It's an old habit, but it works. And this one I'm going to make red matter furnaces. It handles all the overflow and keeps the pipes clean. The ones that don't have an EMC value, like for instance this one, they get a furnace. Or incinerator. Excuse me. As soon as I find them. And yes, I could plant the incinerator, or excuse me, the world anchor, but they're banned on this server, and I try not to break the rules. I hope I don't get in trouble for making this video here. Being as I'm advertising the server, I don't think I would. But nonetheless, and I know I passed it, so let's go back up to the top. There they are, incinerators. Now the one that doesn't have a pipe on it is going straight into the table, doesn't need an incinerator. Strictly because I might want to put that on the floor. That way I can build over it. Before I make that final connection and get mixed metal ingots all over the floor, I better put a piece of tube on it. Alright, now I'm going to bring it straight out here to the compressors. Compressors are what you need next, which is why you got the power over there. Now I'm going to do 3 compressors because of the fact I always have issues with not getting enough advanced alloy. So I probably need to bring that lower to the ground. And then spread it out. I'll go one more over here too. That way I've got a center. I'll have 2 block spaces between them. Now let's find the compressors. A lot of people like to use singularity compressors because they think they're faster. They are faster to a degree, but you're not allowed to upgrade them. So what I'm going to do is use regular compressors. Macerator, extractor, compressor. Okay. There's one. One. Two. Three. And I knew that was going to happen. Now let's see where they're going. And they're going into the wrong one. They got to go in from the top. Just steady picking them up. No big deal. I forgot me and Wicked wasn't in here by herself. What's up? One, two, three. Okay. One, two, three. Let's go in here because I can get the inventory this way. Split it 3 times. Alright, spread the love. Probably should have hung them sideways, shouldn't I? Let's do that. Okay. That way I can pump them in a straight line. Now that that's done, I got to do the overflow with the restrictor tube. I only need one. Remember, gotta keep them lines free and clear. And if the macerators are full, they'll go down there to the end.
Every contingent fall damage, like, wow, we're gonna need.
Okay, I'm gonna drop to a different channel.
Channel switched.
That way there's no issues with someone coming in and talking while I'm trying to work. And you guys don't have to hear their ramble along with mine. Now I completely forgot what I was looking for. Oh yeah, glass fiber cable. It's right there. Gotta wire these things up. But before I blow them up, I got to put in transformer upgrades. Because it will flat blow them fuckers up. So, where are the transformer upgrades? Oh, there they are. I don't need 64, but I'm going to get them because I can. Also, don't need 64 of those, but I'm going to get them because I can. I definitely don't need 64 of them. But once again, I can. So, let's put 2 of those. Let's put 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Now, geogens are high voltage is the reason I'm doing this. And they're going to be running practically empty anyway, so This is like fantasy football. You build what you want to build. Now I gotta power them. Now I don't like my path being blocked. So what I'm gonna do is break that out. Which you could do this in your base. If you built your base with the floors 3 thick, you should be able to do this with no issue. And still have a reinforced layer to go through. If someone's raiding you anyway. Okay, now. Now if I've done the math on my power conserving, or excuse me, power requirements, those 7 should be more than enough to power these. And they are fully powered and operational and working. Now, I forgot to do one thing very important, add a lever to your system. The reason you do a lever is so that you can do this. Okay, I don't want you running right now. I want my power to build up. Once you build the power up, you don't drain it that easily. So, now let me tile back in my floor. Voila. See how our power is building. With 6 packs in there, it can be pretty difficult to build power. Make sure I'm not making the wrong stuff now. Okay, I am. Making the correct stuff. 2 of these is going for reinforced glass. The reason why 2 of them are going for reinforced glass is because with reinforced glass, it takes 2 to every stack of reinforced glass, whereas with reinforced stone, it only takes 1. So it's a lot easier to build with 2 of them going to the reinforced glass and 1 of them going to the stone. Now, however, stone is more important than reinforced glass. And using this system like I've got it built here, one thing you've got to keep in mind, the one that's going to fill up first is the one closest to the source, and according to the pipe, the one closest to the source of the mixed metal ingots is going to be the middle one. It's going to be the one emptied first. So that's going to be the one going to the reinforced glass for sure. Actually, no wait. That's going to be the one going to the reinforced stone. The other 2 I will pipe to the reinforced glass. Now I could change this very easily, which I think I will, just to make my life a little simpler, and of course I bust one of these. And I'm surprised it just didn't blow that damn thing up. I think I might have actually. I think that's a glitch. Let's pick those up. Let's put another one up. I like them facing this way. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now let's reconnect it. She's spooling right up. There it goes. I didn't pick up any. Okay, that works. Now the way I'm going to adjust this to make those slower is by moving the pipe. Oh, I forgot. You get panels when you do that. nice way of trying to be slick. That's another NEI glitch. Now this one will be the one that stays full all the time. And the other two will be the ones getting the overflow for the glass. Now, let's bring them down. We'll put the crafting table for the glass right there. Oh yeah, that's where it went. I was wondering if the filter picked them up. Alright. Now, you need to make a small, and when I say small, I do mean small, 2 collectors max to make your glass for the little reinforced glass. Now, for the stone, it's the same thing, 2, it's small. So I'm going to go right here. Fill that hole in, put it down, then I'm going to shift click on those. Now this one gets glass, so let's go. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm not pulling out the NEI directly, it's because I can't. You got to be OP to do that, and I'm not an op on the server. And I don't recommend you coming and asking, because as a staff member, we like to kick people who ask for op. Now I don't feel like using the screwdriver here, so I'm just going to place them to where I know they'll be placed properly the first time. Crafting table. So that I don't have to deal with filters, I'm going to bring it over one. Now, I got to run some more orange wire, or redstone wire. I think I'm going to do it just like that too. Just going to piggyback it. Like so, and voila. Now I can go flip the switch, and I am almost finished. And of course, got a button first. And voila. Put a piece of pipe up there. Drop straight in. There we go. Bust a hole. And now you're going to do is run a little more pipe. I don't know why I did that one so funky looking. Straight down. And then you need chest. I recommend wooden chest, of course, simply because you can, if you're on a faction server, you can stack them, and then they have to use creeper eggs to get into them. But me personally, my base, if you ever get lucky enough to raid my base, I don't use them. I use condensers simply because if somebody comes in, I'd rather them just take what's in the condensers than sit there and blow my shit up that I spent hours building. You know what I mean? So it's up to you. I'd rather them take the items and leave the damn machine intact instead of them destroying the machine to get the items. A little more piece here. Another little piece here. And there you go. There is you a lag-free reinforced stone machine. Now, if you want to ensure that it's completely lag-free, you may want to put one of these, so right about here, and right about here. Now, there is a reason for me placing them like that, and it's very simple. I can put restrictor tubes on them, because reinforced stone has no EMC value. Therefore, I don't want it once it's made. And any overflow you have from your pipes here can easily be piped. Don't want to have to go for another cover, so I'm going to do this the fun way and go underground. Or through the floor, if you will, for any overflow. And voila. Anything gets stuck in the lines, it gets burned up or turned into EMC. The machine makes reinforced glass and reinforced stone. While it's not very fast due to our timer limiter over there, you can crank it up. There's ways to crank it up and produce way more. Trying to look around here. Didn't think about that. The iron over here needs a condenser. Reason being is because iron has an EMC value. So, what do you do with an EMC value? You use it. Don't waste any. So I put a condenser over there, and now it's making condensers. Any excess iron would go in here. There shouldn't be much though, because this table is running pretty good. Well, these two fill up faster because they don't have to go through the ovens there. But the iron shouldn't back up. If it does, oh well. This is your lag-free machine, and it is making reinforced stone. Let's check the rate. Here's your reinforced glass. That's not bad. And here is your reinforced stone. That's not bad. I'd say this is a pretty good machine. It only took a few seconds to make all this. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Turok Does Tekkit.